we're live, and I think you can hear me, and I think you can see me, and in a second I'm going to be able to see our video so I can see your comments. And it's dinner time, and there we are. It's dinner time, and I just want to tell you how easy it is, and there we are, to make a mostly raw dinner. And I am back in the kitchen at home, in my home, at home with you guys on YouTube, and it makes me very happy. And I always have something to share from the kitchen, and so many ideas. Like, for example, did you know that you need to wash your broccoli sprouts if you buy them? So you wash them, and then a really great thing to do is to mix them with avocado and lemon juice and salt, and it's such a great snack or addition to any meal. So I don't see any comments yet from you guys, but we just started, and I've got my bowl, I've got my Vitamix out, I have in here, I have beautiful romaine lettuce I just got and dandelion greens that have been washed, and I am going to dry them with a towel because I don't like wet lettuce. It almost makes me not want to wash the lettuce at all. So we can have it drying while we discuss what else we're making. And I love the idea, especially at nighttime, of mostly raw or raw fusion because, you know, I'm going to say what I eat in a day, and that's what we're working on next, to compile exactly what my ideal day would look like, and that's going to be ready soon. But I feel that especially in winter, like, we don't have to stress about having only raw food. So I love a salad, I love raw veggies chopped up, and I also love to saute onions with mushrooms with garlic, and put that on top of a raw bed of spinach chopped up. When we eat our raw food, we want to make sure that we chop our veggies small. Mouthfeel, it's called mouthfeel. When you stick a fork into something, is it easy to fit in your mouth? Is it easy to bite? Especially when food is raw, like raw zucchini, any raw chopped up vegetables, it's better to have smaller bites. So whatever dressing you put over it will coat it more. And so think about biting into like a julienne zucchini or like a big hunk of zucchini. The smaller pieces are much better. I don't see, let's see if you guys can see my comment. Maybe nobody's commented yet. Maybe you can't hear me. 7 people are here and no one's commented. That's so unusual. Anyway, so we have that drying. Our greens are drying. I have onion, I have avocado. That's going to be great with my dandelion, my romaine. I have my bowl. I can do a bottom of the bowl dressing, which I came up with, fastest salad in the West, so you don't have to clean a lot of dishes, and you just put your ingredients at the bottom, mix them up. Especially helpful if you're using something like tahini or nut butter, which you can never just pour over your salad. You need to like mix it. So you mix all the ingredients at the bottom in this bowl, which you can find, I think, on my website. I think we have exactly which ones I like. There's Laura B. Okay, somebody's in the house with me. Somebody's home. So then I was thinking, well, I just got some cashews because my next video, probably tomorrow, is going to be my famous kale chips. There is nothing more delicious than the kale chips that I make. So I did order, I got a big bag of raw, organic raw cashews. So I was thinking that I could make a creamy dressing for tonight because I have some steamed squash, which I'm going to show you. It's kabuka squash, and it's just steamed, and it could use a little drizzle of something on top. So just a handful or two of cashews. I'm going to use a little bit of this Syrian pumpkin seed oil, and I'm going to use salt, obviously, and lemon. And this, I was at the Unwell conference put on by the Fullest magazine, and Surya was there. Pitta Churna spices, they're digestive spices that help you. Coriander, cumin, fennel, turmeric, licorice root, ginger root, and sea salt. And so this helps us digest. Hey, Joan. Cut the veggies up small. A good salad, that means you can cut up any veggie small and do at the bare minimum, a little squeeze of citrus, a little drizzle of olive oil or your favorite healthy oil, and a little salt and maybe some pepper, and that's the hashtag no excuses. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of these spices, and I am going to find my salt, and I'm going to do, I love this. This is Dreamform pepper. It's a pepper grinder, and those plastic ones that they just don't grind things well. And I have another jar. It comes with 2 glass jars, and I have pink peppercorns in one of them, and it makes me so happy. Dreamform. I got this on food52.com. So we have our black pepper. We can put in a little nutritional yeast. I don't eat this very often, but once in a while, I'm A-okay with it. So we'll take a little scoopy of this, and it's gonna be cheesy and delicious. A little garlic powder will be nice. And I'm gonna show you my squash. I'm gonna show you my squash. Here's the squash, and it's been steamed. They do this amazing squash at Air One, which I love, but I know they use a lot of oils because when you bake a squash, it's gonna get dried out unless you put a lot of oil. So I decided to steam it. You can steam and then bake it. But it tastes delicious to me like this. It almost doesn't need a thing. So the dressing can be used for my salad. So that's what we're doing. This is so good. It's just such a pretty color, and it's starchy and so delicious. So we will put that aside and have some lemon, which the cashews are sweet. So you really need a lot of lemon to balance it out. You also need, I would say, lemon, and don't add any sweetener, and salt. I keep my cut up lemons in this Shop ET. These are great. I don't use saran, and these are great to keep your extra onions in and lemons. My strainer is here, handy to keep the pits out. What kind of squash? It's called kabocha. Kabocha, and I could be pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm not sure. I think that's it. And it's a little one. It's like orange and green. It's about this big, maybe a little bigger at times. You can Google it. All right, so we're having our lemon, and we need to add our salt. And then we're going to be adding water and blending. And then we have our dressing. I keep a little bowl on the counter to use as like a compost, the ends of things, and then I put it in my compostable LA bin. It's a rectangle bin that I put all of my organic scraps in, and once a week Monique from Compostable LA picks it up, and then it gets delivered to a farm that turns my organic produce scraps into compost for the farm. And at first I was like, it's a service, so they charge $45 a month, and I thought, really? Usually what I used to do is take my scraps and I'd put that in the landscape bin, but I know nothing good is happening from that. Plus, I have to empty out the bin, rinse it out, let it dry out in the sun, and this way, every single scrap goes in this bin. I leave it out front on Thursdays. It gets replaced with a new one, and I have hardly any trash. Like, I don't remember the last time I took out my trash. So I'm really doing my best to be as low waste as possible. These got delivered, so I will save them to use them for something. Let's add the garlic powder. I think you can use butternut squash, pumpkin. Yes, totally butternut would be amazing. Perfect for this. It's really just the steamed squash, and we're just going to eat that cut in cubes with some seasoning, maybe some pumpkin seed oil, some salt is good, some salt and pepper, just you can keep it really simple. So let's add I really feel like if we don't treat food like the beauty and luxury that it is, then we're just really missing out on some serious joy in life. Like nurturing ourselves, deciding what food will make us happy, what do our bodies crave, what will make us feel self-love and nurtured, what will nurture others. And if you know your North Node, then you will know, and you'll hear my story. You can hear it on my website. My North Node is in Taurus. So doing this food thing is for my soul's wish. It's for my highest good. It's my dharma. Every time I concentrate on the beauty of food and luxury and feeling good and eating well, that is my trajectory. You can find out yours, but everybody can learn. When each of us are following what I call our North Star, our North Node, then we are going to be inspired by each other. So you may be doing something according to your North Node that I would like to incorporate into my life. So one of the reasons I think you guys have always liked watching me in the kitchen is that I'm actually living out my dharma. Everything Venusian, candles and beautiful pottery and my walks in nature and all the things I've been sharing. Am I adding the squash in your salad? I was planning on having the salad and then the squash on the side. You can use a little squash for the dressing. You can be creative. That's the whole thing, is that we want to maintain an air of openness in the kitchen so that we have room for inspiration to come in and say, maybe a little cinnamon. What if I toasted the squash? What if I put chunks of squash in the salad? What if I used a piece of squash in the salad dressing? Like, we all can be creative and play in the kitchen. That we don't take it too seriously is my wish. A little bit runny for a dressing, so it needs to be a little thicker. So there's some options here. We can add more cashews. We can add some squash. We can add zucchini to thicken it. But first, I didn't add the salt, so that's what we need. Consider keeping your salt, your Himalayan salt, in a pretty dish. It makes it so much more fun to use. So I'm going to add some more cashews and a piece of squash. I'm gonna compromise. So now it's going to be, I just want to eat it. I don't want to blend it, I want to eat it. It has such a nice texture. So let's blend. And I hope this just inspires you to get creative, make yourself something. So there's something warm, there's going to be a lot of flavor, and there's going to be crunchy greens. Looks perfect, like a dressing. So we are going to taste it. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's gorgeous. Look at that. It's like the perfect consistency for a dressing. I would say it needs a little bit more salt, a little more garlic and a little more salt, and it's divine, and maybe even a little more pepper. But it's like so delicious, and it didn't take long, and it doesn't take much. If you're opposed to cashews, You can use hemp seeds. You could use part hemp, part cashew. You can just use olive oil and the spices that I used. You can use tahini and water. There's a lot of options. Can I leave you with the recipe? Does somebody want to write it down in the comments? I can tell you. I used about 3/4 cup of water, 3 handfuls of cashews, a tablespoon or 2 of nutritional yeast. I used black pepper. I used this Surya spices, Pitta Churna. It's turmeric. If you don't have this, turmeric, cumin, coriander, licorice, ginger root, something named gur, G-U-R. Wonder what that is. Wonder if it's like an asafoetida. It's probably only a teeny titch of it. We put a little pumpkin seed oil in to thicken it up. I added the cashews and a little piece of squash. So I think that's it. And lemon juice. So I'm going to blend it, and then cherry peppers are lovely. And you know what's nice to add? I'll tell you, if you ever want a little more kick, and sometimes I do, after I've eaten this kraut, this sauerkraut, I use a little bit of the brine from this Wild Brine Company, and it gives it more of a kick. You see how when we're creative and we stay open, we stay open, then we get new ideas. So I'm open to your ideas too. Miso is another way to get a beautiful umami. So there's so many things you can do. Adding spirulina makes it like nutty and greeny. So yes, add tahini. But the dressing is really kind of perfect right now. So thank you. So now I can just chop the greens, plate it. I'm serving dinner to a lucky recipient. And sometimes I like to just, in this time of year, take a persimmon and cut that up on the side for some color. I also have these beautiful peppers. I think these are red shizito peppers. Can't pronounce it. However that's pronounced. Do I get facials or any beauty treatments or products that I love? That's a book you would pay a lot for? Oh my gosh. This is so good. You guys, this is my skincare routine. It's almost like embarrassing how little I do. Like, I'm aware that people get treatments and they get microderma things and currents, and I don't do anything. I don't even get facials, although maybe that's a good idea. Of course it is. It's so lovely to do. But I really feel like these are what makes my skin good. I recently gave up coffee again. As you know, those of the original OG Dara YouTube family know that I have been on and off of coffee, and it's the whole reason. Wanting to not have coffee is my whole reason for developing tonics, the tonics ebook, all those tonics I've been making all those years, the tonic line, which I'm thinking of bringing back with my friend Lisa. I feel that the greens and being hydrated from the inside out and having your colon be clean is the #1 way to get bright eyes and beautiful skin. That being said, I'll take a little coconut oil, and I will take a warm, wet washcloth, a warm kind of wet, moist washcloth, and I'll put coconut oil on and gently exfoliate. From time to time, I will use beautiful products like Kindry Skincare. I will use Lau Botanicals, L-A-U. I have things that I would do if I needed to do it. Like, there's masks that I have. Where is my knife? The knife disappeared. The knife ran away with the spoon. Ah, there it is. So you don't need to pay a lot of money for that book. I do have fun things I do with makeup, and I do have my minimal things that I do to beautify, but it's usually not in the fancy skin care department. I'm sure there's more I could be doing, right? People use eye creams and all kinds of creams, and I love to exfoliate my face. So I do have this, I use it from time to time. It's like this charcoal sponge that I got at this store, Pokito. And it's this little Japanese black sponge that's a little bit rough. And I use it with just a little bit of, you know, Evan Haley cleanser or a little bit of coconut oil or a nice facial oil. I did find, you know what, I found this beautiful facial oil that I love. It's good for hair and face and body. But I use it on my face. Lately I've been using it, so that's something. And it's from Recontained LA, which is a zero waste store that opened up here on Abbot Kinney. And it's like, it's just this really light oil, and I'm a big fan of oils. Herbie's doing great. Hello. And I do need a facial in my Zen life. I'm sure that would be great. Herbie is doing so, he's happy. He's 91. He's eating well. He's enjoying his life. He goes out and does things. I definitely promise a video with him and a dinner with him, because you guys need to see that he is still happy Herbie. I just haven't been making as many videos, so, or as much food, like in service, I would say, in service to others. Like, I make food, but it's not like all the food that was coming and going from this kitchen all those years. I kind of took a break. So we have this beautiful salad, and I think it's nice to have some onions, so we're just going to cut a little piece, just a little bit for some flavor. Thank you. I feel he thinks I'm an awesome daughter too. Just kind of like the fact that I saved his life with raw food and really, you know, gave him, I was like, you got to move out to California. You need to be out here. So he did move out here, and I love him, and it's all good. So, okay, we have some onion, and we could do some avocado, and then I'll mix this, and it does look like spinach, but it is some romaine, and it is some dandelion greens, which add a bitter, which I love, and they're so good for helping our bodies detoxify our liver. So having dandelion greens in our smoothies, in our soups, in our salads, raw, sauteed, however you want to do it is fine with me and fine with your liver. It's a way to love your liver. They make this really great salad at Air One, dandelion greens and chickpeas, and I think in a little quinoa. So, do we want to have the dressing drizzled on the squash or mixed in the salad, or both? I've been an awesome coach. It is sometimes, Nature Girl, hard to be changed when people can be overbearing. That's a whole video topic. What do you do about OPE, other people's energy? I say if it's good, you stay around it. If it's not, I really feel like it's not our job to fix anyone. If they're on board and they're excited about what you're teaching and sharing and giving and making food-wise, then go for it. But if there's resistance and it feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill, or you are, you know, you feel like you're exhausted, like, consider like not pushing. Consider living and let live. You know, that it's not our jobs to decide when souls decide to eat healthy or be sick or get healthy or have their own personal soul's evolution lesson. We can only love, right? Instead of being police people or food pushers, we can be the love. Herbie didn't want raw food for years. I would make it for my mother and she would eat it with me, and she was so proud of me. Even in the beginning, before I knew how to make anything, she would eat whatever weird concoction I came up with. And then I went to Living Light Culinary Arts Institute and for like almost a month and learned raw food. And every time I came home to New Jersey, she was so happy to eat the food. And Herbie was like, nah. And then one day when she was not well, she was very, very sick, and I was trying to help her be better, he ate this way out of solidarity for her, and he ended up going off his medication. He ended up feeling like Superman, and so that was his soul's choice when it was time. It couldn't really be rushed. We can't push someone. We can only hope that somebody inspires them. So sometimes it happens in threes, like where you say raw food, or healthy food, or Chinese herbs, and then they hear from someone else. And sometimes it's the third time. It's like an angel number, like where they're like, oh, I've heard that so many times. It's good to see you too, Maggie. And yes, I've been an awesome coach, and I will continue to be an awesome coach for whoever wants to participate in this celebration of life. Like, this is not deprivation. And I've been thinking about this lately because there were so many years I didn't, there were a number of years where I stopped making food videos, and I thought I did it for almost 10 years. Like, everybody knows now. Like, I saw on Instagram that people are making tonics. Okay. They're making a lot of healthy food. Okay. Does the world really need me to make it? Doesn't everybody know already? And it turns out that no, not everybody knows what we know. Not everybody knows about food combining, and not everybody knows that meat gets clogged in the colon, and that we need to clean our colons. And not everybody knows that food is our medicine, and just how obvious it is when we see living examples of people who are living this way to be able to see the difference. So I am showing up. I actually have a lighting person coming Tuesday to help me figure out beautiful lighting so these can be even better videos, and that will be fun. So what do we say? Dressing? You like my blouse? Thank you. And this apron was given to me by a new friend, one of our family members. She did an intuitive session with me, and then she came out to California and stayed in one of my Airbnbs, and I got to meet her. And this is just so, this is from Juice to Goods, and it's just so, this is the color, the new color of my bedroom. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to post a new picture on Instagram. Maggie Libra, I introduced you to such wonderful foods. I'm so glad. So you never get tired of the videos. I need to keep doing it. Maggie, you've been following me for years. Sasha Ra, I'm glad you're here. Steve Harris is here. So this is like home. You guys are home. YouTube is home. And I've veered off, and I've thought about, going away, but it's like, this is the stuff of life. Like, we all need to eat. People used to ask me, who's your audience? I'm like, anyone who needs to eat. Everyone who eats food needs to know that eating organic produce and knowing what to do with it is like forever. It's going to feed you forever. So I'm coming up with some little ebooks, mini ebooks about what I eat in a day, a DARA day, some of my gorgeous raw food recipes that are just waiting to be presented, packaged beautifully. My new assistant Tasha is amazing at that. So you'll follow on my website, subscribe to the newsletter so you can be updated as to my little sayings and things I have to share. So yeah, so we're good. I'm gonna tell Patrick he can come up, or wherever he is. Are you here? No. Okay, I'm calling out for helpful people. I have so many things to do. The house, like, it has so many little things that need to be fixed or tweaked, or it's like a whole thing. So feng shui wise, in order to have abundance in life, we also need to have helpful people in life. In order to have a beautiful life, all areas of our life need to be working. All areas of our home need to be addressed and clutter-free and everything working. And all areas of our body need to be working, because if one area is inflamed or in serious pain or in trouble, it's going to affect the way we walk, the way we move, the way we carry ourselves in this life. So balance, food first, everybody. actually know your astrogeography, because you got to know your astrology of place. You have to know what energies you're swimming in, because you could be doing all this yoga and raw food and feng shui, but if you're living on a hard line for you, you got to know about it so you can harness the energies and make them work for you. Okay, so did I get an answer? Do you guys want the dressing on? This kitchen is so old, Rockstar. Thank you. My bedroom is done. I'm just doing little touch-ups where some of the red's peeking through, so I have a little fine brush and a little bit of my molding paint, the painting of the molding, not mold paint. And it's so pretty. I need to show you guys. Maybe I'll do a video from my bedroom because it's like heaven. It's the difference from feeling heavy, as the red did after a while. It just started to feel heavy. And now I just feel like I slip into a room that's like rose quartz colored, and I slip into my bed that's blush colored linen and silk and pink and blush. And it's like heaven. I look forward to slipping into bed each evening. So I can dress this with just lemon juice and pumpkin seed oil, and then I can use the dressing for the squash. And I'm going to paint one because we've done a lot of talking. A video of my bedroom, and I can actually, what I did is I filmed the process. So I filmed the paint, the process, my thought process, the actual process. I hope somebody reminds me tomorrow that I need to just make the final piece to the video saying, here it is, and you guys are going to be able to see it. I needed that reminder. So when serving something like this, I'm going to get 2 bowls. I like a low, what I call a plole. It's a plate bowl. So you can plate the squash and drizzle, and then you could have the salad next to it. So we will take our pretty squash. I did cheat. I bought it cut up already because it's hard to cut. If you guys have a trick, let me know. Let's put some of this on the salad. I love to use this brine from the sauerkraut. Here it is. So I really think I didn't need that. I really think good lighting is good. I think you can hear me. Okay, we need salt. Most important is, even if things aren't perfect, like your lighting or whatever, show up. Be in the practice of showing up. It's like a rhythm, and it makes it easier to show up next time. And you can't, sometimes you don't get magic off the bat. Sometimes it takes like, you know, you gotta like, in a garden, you have to get rid of some little rocks or some weeds, and you have to like actually look at the soil and look at the garden and decide what needs to go and really get into the garden. So like sometimes you get into making videos or you get into that new project you're doing and it doesn't go smoothly at first. Well, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be like this work in progress, this journey. You were vegan for 7 years and fell into meat. Was it a big vat of meat? You can get out. I'll hold up a hand. I used to say on my More with Dara page site, I used to say, well, it's like the wagon to get back into, like you fell off the wagon, you fell out of the wagon, but the wagon to get back into a vegan wagon, it's like a little red wagon, very low to the ground. So kind of all you have to do is kind of step back in. And we, this YouTube family, and me, it's kind of like we're a parade of little red wagons, and I will gladly reach out my hand to you to help you back in, because it's so... Let's cut up the pepper. We need some red on this plate. It's colorful, it's celebratory, it makes you feel younger, it makes you look prettier, it makes you have more energy. I'm so curious if this pepper is spicy. Your boyfriend ate meat and you felt pressured. So, yeah. Sasha, everybody, you know, it's very normal to fall off the wagon, maybe not into meat, but it happens, and now you know how you feel, and now you can get back to your regularly scheduled program, which is us. And I'm back to inspire you. So good timing for us. I do love a little red on my plate. And we have red and orange and peppers, and just Go Raw pumpkin seeds are going to be. You're welcome, Sasha. I am here for you. This is fun. Go Raw has salad toppers, sea salt and cracked peppers. I add this onto my smoothies. I add this onto my soups. I eat these seeds every day. They add protein. But let me tell you something. There is no such thing as, let's do the drizzle. There's no such thing as a deficiency of protein, just so you know. You're not having it. If you're an athlete, watch Game Changers. It's a great game-changing movie for people who are worried where they're going to get their protein. It's the number one asked question. And I was 100% raw for almost 10 years, and I was never protein deficient, nor was I B12 deficient. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? If you wanted to, if you're feeding someone who is maybe bigger than me and they need to eat more, then a slice of vegan Mario bread, you can get it delivered, I think, and you slice it and you toast it. He's the answer to what I had to do manually. I had to make raw vegan bread. I made mine. It was beautiful, almond pulp and zucchini and psyllium husk, and it took some time and it was dehydrated. But a little slice of vegan Mario bread is legit with a little bit of cashew cream cheese or even some of this. It's very pretty. Isn't it pretty? I mean, if you want your meat, or if you're like, oh, I can never give up this, or I can't give up that, don't tell yourself you're giving up anything. Just eat this first. It's kind of like when I stopped drinking coffee. I just kind of stopped, and then in the morning I'm like, should I have a cup? And I'm like, well, let me make my chocolate coffee tasting tonic first, and I'll drink that, and if I want the coffee, I can have it. I can have whatever I want. It's just more like, eat this first, then see how you feel, and you're going to feel so good that if you eat anything else, you'll probably eat this much of it, and eventually you won't even want that thing. So big hugs, everybody. Buena notte, and I will see you super soon, and get your greens on. Don't forget to like the video, as some of you did, and don't forget to follow me or join me on Instagram, Dara Dubonnet, and check out my website. It's really pretty, and I'm happy with it. So, good night, and I'll see you soon. Oh, I have to come over there and shut the video. That's funny. I was trying to do it here. Nope. My mom says hi. She's a Sag North node. So, see, I don't know if I can, I don't even know what to say about the Raw Princess. We had a session. She's following her North node. She's paying attention to her astrogeography, and I am so proud of her. Hey, Robin McDonald, I mentioned you earlier. If you're going to get skincare, Kindry Skincare. Kindri. I use very little. This is like mostly my skincare, and no coffee at the moment, and no alcohol, and kind of lots of green juices. So this is what's up with me. This is my skincare. And then when I need it, Robin skincare, or just, go light, but eat well. Have your beauty from the inside out. And thank you. So say hi to your mom, Raw Princess, who is following her Virgo North Node, and I'm so proud of her. She's could be a serious testimonial for the North Node courses. So if you haven't yet, I've made them very reasonable, very accessible. You can look up on my website for free what your North Node is, and then you just get your North Node video, and you learn about your soul's wish. You get confirmation, and then you get to act with conviction. Whenever you get lost, or you made a misstep, or you're feeling crunchy, or you're not behaving in a great way, or you just feel blah, you're going to know why, and you're going to know what to do, because I'm very practical that way. So don't go yet. Okay, so the North Node is in astrology. It's my latest course that took me a long time to make, but it's basically the North Node is your Dharma, where you're headed. I call it your spiritual shining star. So no matter what you're doing in your life, love, career, going clothing shopping, talking to your friends. If you're behaving like the sign of your North Node, things are going to be sparkly. It's a reach, it's a stretch, it's somewhere we haven't been before, but hearing me talk about it in the videos will spark something inside of you that you already know. The South Node, it's an axis, North Node, South Node. The South Node is where we've been in many past lifetimes, and it's our comfort zone, and if we stay there, the room gets darker, the brown sofa we're sitting on gets squishier, and people feel that something's wrong, we feel that something's wrong, but we don't know what it is. It's the South Node. If you never know what your shadow behavior is, it's South Node behavior. So we can have it identified in the video, we can identify it, we can catch ourselves daily, and then we can redirect. So my redirect is doing this. You can find out what your redirect is. So your Pisces is your sun sign. Your North Node is different than your sun sign. So the Raw Princess has, she has a Virgo North Node. And I rocked it out of the park for this one. Thank you, Raw Princess. So just so much to say on the subject. I'm going to be making more videos. I want you guys to get your North Node videos so then we can start talking about it and have we can have back and forth question and answer. I can help you. So stay tuned because there's something else that's coming that's going to help you next level. So get the first level North Node and the next level is coming. I'm glad you asked about it, Sasha Ra. I'm glad you're interested. It's going to help you. It will help your boyfriend. It will help you guys get along better. It will help you understand why each of you is doing what I call the trip up behavior in the relationship. So tune in and I'll be showing up more and more. We're going to get pretty lighting and that's going to make me happy. So big hugs. I will see you soon and get your greens on.